This revolution, when una dey ask for Nigeria so, it go start from media house one day. I dey tell una because the way this government they go, they will soon start to dey collect two by two and slap during interview. Just imagine David Umiah. Eh? Anyway, why are they even constructing this coastal road or whatever name it is when many roads in Nigeria are in bad shapes? Why? Well, please wait. Oh, is this coastal highway leading to heaven? Eh? With the amount I'm hearing, ha, trillion. Oh God, God save Nigeria. David Umahi, more can I watch you? Anyone who sandwiches his voice with watch them very well. Watch them very well. All these figures they are even calling is enough to construct roads from Nigeria to China. But meanwhile, my brothers and sisters, leave Nigeria alone and do your job. For me, Tinubu, you are still the best we have ever produced. No president or minister has been transparent like this government in accountability. Buhari was there doing railway from Nigeria to Benin Republic.
I want to plead with people. You shouldn't just be interested in cost per kilometer. You should be interested in the quality of the job, the kind of project we are doing, the impact of the project on the economy. Now, when people are asking cost per kilometer, I went to 4 television houses at the beginning of this project, and I've directed that my encounter with Arise, where I was using my head, and the Z25 they call him was using calculator, and it was Abati that was begging us, say please, it was that was begging us to stop, because I gave classical and empirical account of the project. But let me also say, apart from directing that encounter to be on social media, let me also rerun the program. Now, the first section is 47.47 kilometers, and it's 6 lanes. And these 6 lanes, we also have additional lane for train. And so we have a corridor of 60 meters. These 60 meters, we filled sharp sand from beginning to the end. And at Challenge 3, we encountered refuse that went up to 10 meters. We excavated this refuse up to 10 meters. We refilled it with pure sharp sand. At kilometer 13, we encountered ocean surge, and we have to do what the Eco-Atlantic did to protect the road. That alone is costing quite a lot of money. But however, this is the rundown of the figures. Number 1. The first section, 47.47, is costing 1.067 trillions, and it's by 6 lanes. Now, when you divide this 1.067 trillion by 47.47 by 2, you will get 11.57 billion per kilometer of 3 lanes. A standard road is 2 lanes. Standard federal highway is 2 lanes. So by the time you now divide it by 3 and multiply by 2, you will now say that a standard coastal road is going for 7.5 billion per kilometer of standard highway. However, this 7.5 includes all the fillings, shore protections, the solar light all through, the planting of trees, the protection of the shoulders. We are using reinforced concrete retaining wall from beginning to the end to retain the earth. We are putting a number of flyovers and underpasses. We are doing that. At kilometer 20, and the press been taken there severally, just like other places, you encounter a pit of up to 20 meters. And then this pit we removed, and then we now the our design, has a docked 7.63 meters. Additionally, I didn't calculate it here. Now, if you look at the design of that is predicated is this thing, and you use 1,200 per dollar, then first of all, if you use 23 meters, you divide it by 11.55, the standard gauge for a superhighway, then you get that this design is 2.225 multiple superhighways. I don't know whether you get what I'm saying. Yeah. So it means that in this design, you have the highways, standard highways to be 2.22. Now, in my design, I have my own to be 5.167, which means that in every cross section, you have a standard, highway of 11.55, to be 5.167. Is that correct? Yes. Now, if you divide, 700 kilometers, if you divide this 11.11, by, 700 kilometers, you get 19.1 billion, 19.1 billion per kilometer. But this kilometer is
$19.1 billion per kilometer.
No, naira. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, per kilometer.
Call the parameters again. Let me divide it.
If you have
700,
I can give you something here. 700.
Yeah.
If you divide 1.1. 11.1 billion.
Okay.
You multiply it by.
Article said trillion.
No, he said $11.1 billion.
That was in dollars, yeah.
Yes.
Dollars.
Yes, and I'm using 1,200.
Yeah.
And you divide it by 700 kilometers.
The thing has gone down to 1,100.
So are you also going to factor that in your variation?
The what?
Because the CBN is defending, and as at today, it's about 1,100.
We are doing a calculation. We are running figures.
Okay, so let's go ahead.
So because we are talking as at today. Okay. So you use 1,200 because it also applies to our own.
Okay.
Now you get his own at 19,000, 19 billion per kilometer.
Yeah.
Okay. And this kilometer is, 2.22, multiples of standard gauge.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Now, when you now divide this 19 point by this multiple gauge, you get 8.59 billion per kilometer. That is what is.
Why are you dividing it by this another parameter?
Because a standard gauge is 11.55.
Yeah.
So if you have this total pavement of 23 meters, okay, this 23 meters, how much of it is the multiples of a standard gauge?
Okay.
And so if you divide it by standard gauge of 11.55, you get that at every section of the road, what you have is 2.225 multiples of a standard gauge. Is that correct? So when you have, a cross section, per 1 kilometer of 19 billion, and then you now divide it by the multiples to know how much is this thing going to cost me if it were to be Lagos Ibadan, that carriageway. Okay? So it is going to be 2.225. So you divide that 19 billion by 2.225, and you get 8.59 billion. That is what a standard gauge of this kind of construction is going to cost.
But in another interview, you said it should be 8 billion. Now it is 8.9.
8.559 billion. 8.59. Yes.
8.59 billion.
Yes. 8.5.
Okay, so you're saying
8.552 billion. Yes.
Okay. 8.552 billion.
Yes. I will analyze my own.
So you're saying the cost per kilometer
Yes.
is 8.55